everyone. Welcome to my channel, Math is Fun channel. It is an educational channel to help every students out there who are doing online classes and modular classes to help them improve their performance in mathematics. And this channel is very helpful to teach you the beauty and the basic concept of mathematics, that math is not a difficult subject, but it's easy, fun, and interesting. So I hope and I am pretty sure that this channel is very helpful for you. So if you are struggling in mathematics, then this channel is really meant for you. So I hope everybody is really subscribing or sharing this video to your friends, classmates, and the people out there so that they will be able to love mathematics. So, are you ready? But before we go to our main discussion, this video discussion, so please do not forget to subscribe after watching this video, and please click like and also share this to your friends. Again, watch the video before you click subscribe. Is that clear? Okay, so I would like to shout out the people out there, to all my fellow teachers, Ma'am Belia Corato, Ma'am Tour, Sir Dexter, Sir Cobello, Ma'am Gonzalez, Ma'am Elsie, Ma'am Amor, Ma'am Dagpin, Ma'am Emmy. I already mentioned Ma'am Emmy. Ma'am Holly Jane. So thank you so much for your unending support for this channel. So please click subscribe before you what I mean, after you watch the video, please do not forget to subscribe. So now I would like also to shout out Makaila. Hello, Makaila. So I will now share too much for the shout out. Okay, so let's focus to our main topic for this video discussion. So are you ready? I know you're all ready. So please do not forget to subscribe the channel or this video. Thank you so much in advance. So our topic for this video discussion will be in quadratic equations. So I know some of you in algebra, you already encountered this word algebra, what I mean quadratic equations. So now solving quadratic equations by factoring, that's the focus of our topic this video discussion. So our objectives are solve quadratic equations by factoring, and another solve other equations by factoring. So these are the two main objectives that we have to learn this video discussion. So to start solving quadratic equations by factoring, let's define first what is a quadratic equation. So again, a quadratic equation, as you can see on the screen, is an equation that can be written in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers with a is not equal to 0. Again, a, b, and c are real numbers, and your a must not be equal to 0. Why? What will happen? If a is equal to 0, then 0 times x squared is equal to 0. So this one will be eliminated. So that becomes linear equation. That is why it's very strict in our definition for a quadratic equation, that this is an equation that can be written as ax squared bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0. Okay? Because again, what will happen if a becomes 0? The equation becomes linear equation. So another thing also for a quadratic equation, it is in the second degree of equation, where the highest degree of exponent is 2. So that's how we define it easier. So the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, as you can see, is something to do as the standard form. So this is a standard form of a quadratic equation. For example, x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. So this is an example for standard form of a quadratic equation. 2x squared minus 5x is equal to 3, and x squared is equal to 4. As you can follow, are all quadratic equations, but only x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0 is in standard form. So again, the standard form of a quadratic equation is this one. So as you can see, if we are going to compare it, only this one, the x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0 is in standard form. This is not in a standard form. This one is not also in standard form. So I want you to know how to write the equation or quadratic equation in a standard form. So let's proceed. Enough for a quadratic equation. Until now, we have factored expressions, including many quadratic expressions rather. In this section, we see how we can use factored quadratic expressions to solve quadratic equation. Again, our main objective in this video discussion is to solve quadratic equations by factoring. So I want you to be guided with the first objective. Solve quadratic equations by factoring. That's the first objective. So let's proceed. Solve quadratic equations by factoring. So we use the zero property. Again, we use the zero factor property. What do we use? We use the zero factor property to solve a quadratic equation by factoring. So I want you to highlight that one. If A and B are real numbers, this is the zero factor property. If A and B are real numbers, and if AB is equal to 0, then A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. So again, if A and B are real numbers and if AB is equal to 0, then A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. So that is if the product of two numbers is 0. So then at least one of the numbers must be 0. So one number must, but both may be 0. So again, when we have AB is equal to 0, therefore A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0. I want you to highlight and focus on the red marks there and also the blue marks saying zero factor property. Again, the zero factor property states that if A and B are real numbers, and if AB is equal to 0, then A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Simple as that. So simple and easy, okay? So let's proceed. Oh, sorry. I stopped the screen so for a while. So let's continue. Okay. So using the zero factor property, let's have an example so that we can apply uh the rule or the property. So in this case, 2x plus 3, 5x plus 7 is equal to 0. Therefore, 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. And 2x plus 3 minus 3, applying the negative property of equality, is equal to 0 minus 3. That gives us 2x is equal to negative 3. Divide both sides by 2. Then x is equal to negative 3 over 2. So another 5x plus 7 is equal to 0 since the two factors is equal to 0. Therefore, the first factor is equal to 0. Then the second factor is equal to 0. That's why 5x plus 7 is equal to 0. So 5x plus 7 minus 7 is equal to 0 minus 7, applying the negative property of equality. So we have it 5x is equal to negative 7, then divide both sides by 5. So your x now is equal to negative 7 over 5. In short, the roots or the solutions of a quadratic equation given, what I mean of the given equation rather, are negative 3 halves and negative 7 over 5. So let's do the other example below. The x and 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. So let's apply the zero factor property. Are you ready? I hope you are solving with me. And we have it there. X is equal to 0 and 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. So we don't need to solve x is equal to 0 because it's obviously that your x is 0. One of the roots or one of the solutions in the given equation is equal to 0. And next we will solve 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. I hope you're all ready. So we have it 2x plus 4 minus 4 is equal to 0 minus 4, applying the negative property of equality. Then we have it 2x is equal to negative 4. Then divide both side by 2. Then you have it x is equal to negative 2. So easy, right? That's how we use the zero factor property in solving the solutions of this type of equation. So in short, the roots are, or the solutions are 0 and negative 2. So now let's try to use the zero factor property in solving quadratic equations. Again, we will use the zero factor property in solving quadratic equations. Are you ready? So easy. This is just too easy for you. I know, and I believe I can feel it. Example, x squared plus 2x is equal to 8. Then you have it. X squared plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 8 minus 8. So we are just rewriting this one or the equation in standard form. So in short, we have to consider before we follow the zero factor property, we need to write the quadratic equations in standard form. And that is the reason why we talk about the standard form of quadratic equation. So we have it x squared plus 2x minus 8. Then we have it x plus 4 and x minus 2 equals 0, applying the zero property, or what I mean zero factor property. Then you have it x plus 4 is equal to 0. Then that gives us x is equal to negative 4. Another x minus 2 is equal to 0. That gives us what? X is equal to 2. So now our solutions or our roots of the quadratic equation x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0 are negative 4 and 2. So how many solutions do we have in quadratic? There are only two. Why? Because quadratic equation is a second degree of equation. So the solution or roots of every equation will determine or will be based on the degree of the given equation. Okay, so let's have another example. X squared is equal to x plus 30. So let's have it again, rewrite it, or yeah, write it in standard form. So you have it x squared minus x minus 30 is equal to 0. So that gives you x minus 6, factor it. So to factor x squared minus x minus 30, sorry, is equal to 0, then it gives us factors x minus 6 and x plus 5. Then apply the the zero factor property. That gives you what? X minus 6 is equal to 0, and which gives us x is equal to 6. Then the other one is x plus 5 is equal to 0. That gives us x is equal to negative 5. Negative 5. So meaning to say the roots of the quadratic equations x squared minus x plus 30 is are negative 5 and what? And 6. Okay, so do not forget it. So now, so to solve quadratic equations by factoring, in summary, follow these steps to solve quadratic equations by factoring. So I want you to take down note of that. First, step one, as we did a while ago, we write the equation in standard form. So please do not forget to write the quadratic equation in standard form before factoring it. That is with all terms in on one side of the equal sign rather in descending power of the variable and 0 on the other side. So next step number two, of course, after writing it in standard form, the equation, then factor it completely. Okay, and the step number three, that's the time we can apply the zero factor property to set each factor with variable equal to 0 and solve the resulting equations. Then step number 4 is you can check each solution in the original equation by just substituting it, the roots to the given equation. And if the left side and right side of the equations are the same, then your answer is correct. Okay, so happy to really share this video with you. So that is the basic solution or steps in solving quadratic equation using factoring. So I hope you will be able to remember the process, okay? Because the process will help you explore things about quadratic equation. So in short, quadratic equation can be solved using factoring. And in factoring quadratic equations, we can use the zero factor property. So please do not forget that one. Thank you so much for listening until the end of this video. So we'll just end it here since we just focus on factoring to solve quadratic equations. Okay, the roots of quadratic equations. Again, we call roots or solutions as the answer of the root of the value of your variables in quadratic equation. So how many solutions do we have? We have two. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. It's nice to share my knowledge about quadratic equation. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel and share it to your friends so that they will also learn about quadratic equations. Do not forget about this lesson because this is very helpful to your life or experiences in algebra. Okay, so that's it. That's all for today. Thank you so much and have a great day. Thank you.